Today we want to introduce our equipment. All the equipment that we need for the maintenance of our schwimmteich. I am Ines from Teichswimmer. Your channel for schwimmteichs. Nature in your garden and water that's alive. Enjoy watching. More or less is the equipment still the same that we have bought 5 years ago when we built our schwimmteich. After 5 years, it's still, most of it, still the same, as good as in the beginning. I want to show you first small stuff. I want to start with the braillers. For this reason, I want to show you the place where we store it, because the braillers, they stick to very, very long rods, aluminium poles, and they need a place to be installed. And I want to show you this. Christian found a nice place to keep them. It's right here underneath our terrace, and we can easily take them out and in again. You see? He fixed some hooks in the back, and that's how the rods are kept in place. So the basic equipment you need is a brailer with coarse mesh, and we need that to take leaves out or apples that fall into our schwimmteich. And this is the short rod. We have a longer one. The brush is fixed on the other one. I will show you soon. Here you can see how a brailer is adjusted to the aluminium pole. It's just a click closure, easy to handle, and you can just push it in again or use another equipment. Well, I'm going to show you with a leaf, a small leaf we have here. So the short pole we use for short distance, of course. So like this, I can only reach to the middle. If I want to get further away, I take the longer rod. So this is the brailer for leaves. Then we've got the second brailer. That's my personal favorite toy. It's close meshed, as you can see, and it's much more difficult to handle because of the water. The water cannot get through it so easily, of course. And we use this one to get the small algae out of the water, like these little lumps of detritus that raised to the surface. I can easily remove that with my algae brailer. And you see, it keeps in here very well. So this is my favorite. I love to do that. Okay, that's also with the telescopic pole, easy to handle. That is our brush. Again, easy click closure. Tuck. And click. This is one of the pieces that we have replaced this season. The old one is right here. And as you can see, this was quite used. So it did not have that effect anymore when we used it. That's why we have bought another one. This brush we use mostly for cleaning the walls and the bottom. we kind of broom our walls at the bottom. I also show you very shortly. There's this dust on the walls, and we help it go to the deep section. If I want to reach further down, I can just take the handle, pull it out, fix it by turning it, and I've got a longer one, a longer broom, and I can very easily broom the dust down to the deep section. Fortunately, it's made out of aluminium, so even I can handle it. It's not that heavy. And now we get to the most important thing, the impeller pump. This is needed to take out the detritus from the bottom once or twice a year. We have bought this one from the Teichdoctor. It's just an impeller pump that has 2 outlets, and the pump comes with hoses, longer one, a very long one, medium and short one, and very important, this piece is a transparent hose, and we will explain later why that is important. Before we start to install the pump, I just want to show you these 2 pieces. This one, it brushes the bottom again. It brushes the floor and it takes out the water through here when we suck. And this one is the same, but this one doesn't have, that one avoids bigger stones to get into the hose. And these plastic pieces clean the walls, the liner, when we brush. Then we've got another piece here. You put that on a hose in the end. That's for rinsing all the shallow areas when you do the cleaning once a year. And this one, Christian will show you what we need this one for. Okay, I would suggest that you show them how to install the pump, please. So, now let's start to put it together. First, you fix the transparent hose on the upper outlet. Now you take the other one and fix it to the other side. Here, through this hose, the water that we don't want anymore, the water that's, that contains a lot of detritus, we pump it out, and through this hose it goes, in our case, in our garden. This is the hose that does the actual suction. We fix it on this one, but before that, never forget to fill the pump with water first. Otherwise it could break. You just stick it in, no need to fix it in any way. It's because of the suction it stays in place. Then you take the long end and install the brush to the hose. Like that. Next, you get your telescopic rod and click it to the brush. Click closure. And now we will show you what we need the cable tie for. You fix the hose to the aluminium rod. Why? Because like that it doesn't go away and you can move the brush. And then we can start. Shall we start it? Who wants that we start it?
Yes.
Yes!
Here.
Okay, so please let's show our followers how it works.
Hören kann man es auch.
And you can hear it. So I will
Rechts.
turn it on. And very soon you will see what the transparent hose is for. When Christian does the suction, he always watches the transparent hose, because there he can see if there's still dirty water coming out. As long as the water here is dirty, he stays on the same spot with the suction pump. When we are done with the suction, of course we have to deinstall the pump. Christian will show us again. You see, sometimes there are some branches or leaves that get stuck in the brush. You just take them out and you clean the brush. And then you dry everything in the sun, because the hoses, they're still wet inside and they shouldn't stay humid, because we want to have everything clean. So that's why after the suction, Christian takes all the hoses and lies them out in the sun so that they get dry. Sometimes I help. And then something important. Normally pumps can get frozen in winter. Our pump doesn't have that problem, because there is a forward and a return, and once you have removed the hoses, you can get the pump dry if you do that. Christian, show it please, to get the water out so that it cannot freeze. Forward, return, that's it. Water's out of the pump, can dry a little bit in the sun, and then it can be stored again. We are lucky because we have this terrace, so we can store everything just underneath the terrace. Yeah, that's an advantage. So that was our equipment that we need to maintain our schwimmteich. That was all. I want to point out that we had an investment in the beginning 5 years ago, when we bought all the stuff like pump and hoses and brushes and braillers. But since then we needed no money at all, or let's be honest, I need an algae brailler once a season, because it's well, it breaks easily here at the corners, so it takes about one season and then I have to buy a new one. So a brailler once a year, yeah, What else to say? Easy to handle. Maybe I can add, as I said, the impeller suction pump we use once or twice a year. People who are really picky and want to have a clean floor all the time, they might use the suction pump every second month, maybe. But we do it twice a year. In the beginning, we did it just once a year in spring. But since 2 years or so, we do one suction in spring and one in fall. Sometimes before the leaves fall, sometimes afterwards. So the suction pump has its place under the terrace and stays there all year long. The braillers, we really use them frequently. Why? Because we like to do that. I mean, there are people who have skimmers, there are people who have robots. We thought about that, but actually we really enjoy doing this brailing, taking out all the stuff. It's kind of meditative, yeah, and that's why we like to do it. And you always see the effect of it. If you like our video, please give us a thumb up and subscribe our channel. If you want to know more of how to build a schwimmteich like that, you could buy our book. It's linked underneath. Thanks for watching. Ines von Teich, swimmer.